Hi, welcome to our last week of lectures. So today we're going to cover week 7. So that's chapter 13 and 14 in our PowerPoints. So let's look at those. Go to chapter 13 first. Okay, so this is the job search, resumes, and cover messages. So our first learning outcome, this would like to work, there we go. Begin a job search by recognizing emerging trends and technologies, exploring your interests, evaluating your qualifications, and investigating career opportunities. The latest trend in job search and resumes, mobile technologies, networking, communication, social media. It's all digital. Resumes must please scanners and skimmers, so do away with a lot of the uh, unique things that are on resumes that scanners and downloads don't like. That'll really mess up the formatting of it. Mhm. Latest trend job search organization, uh, bet on technology. Big and medium-sized companies use applicant tracking systems. Many of them use online resume searches, job searches, like career builders and things like that. Some of them use apprenticeships and then just go from apprenticeships or internships. Um, go from there. It's an employer's market. I mean, when we have unemployment rates at 20% or higher, which we'll find out, which when you're watching this, it's always the first Friday of the month when the previous month's unemployment rate comes out. So we'll see what it is on the first Friday of the month. Um, so if you keep track of it, then you'll know what the previous unemployment rate was. Uh, so we're having a trend that they're double digits now. So an employer can basically find anybody that they want, especially now that the special incentives for the unemployment, the extra $400, excuse me, 600, the extra $600 a month that the federal government was contributing to unemployment benefits runs out July 31st. So after July 31st, you may see a flood of applicants because they're no longer receiving this increase of $600 a week in their unemployment. Preparing to search for a job, analyze yourself, identify your interests and goals, assess your qualifications, explore career opportunities, then develop a job search strategy, search job opening markets, pursue the hidden job market, cultivate your online presence, build your personal brand, network. If you're not on LinkedIn yet, you should get on LinkedIn. And you have to be really careful uh, who you let on your network on LinkedIn. It should only be people, for the most part, that can help you in your career. So you could put down classmates, you could put down professors, um, but the most important thing would be to put down people, to invite people to join your network that are in careers that you are trying to get into or will be trying to get into when you graduate. Uh, it takes years to cultivate a large following, large network in LinkedIn. I think mine's just over 6,000 now, but I've been a member of LinkedIn for I think 8 years. So it takes a very long time to cultivate and grow the number of people that are in your network. Okay. Explore career opportunities, visit your career center, search apps and help online, use your college library, take summer job, internship, part-time position. If you don't know if you want to get into banking, then see if you can get a job part-time as a teller and see if you like the banking industry or whatever other industry that you're interested in. While you're in college, it's the only time that you can work for cheap. So it's a great time to get some experience in areas that you think you might be interested in having a career. Once you graduate college, if you go into banking and after 6 months or a year you don't like banking and so you try insurance and then you're in insurance for 6 months or a year, you find you don't like that, and you do that 3 or 4 or 5 times, all of a sudden people look at your resume and say, well, you're just job hopping and you really don't know what you want. When you're in college, you can do that and it's not a negative. Nobody looks at that in a negative fashion because you're in college and you're just working part time. So college is the best time to get some experience in the areas that you think you might like your career. And if it works out that you do like that, then that's great on your resume as well. Okay, so that goes with that. Next lesson, learning outcome, excuse me. Develop savvy search strategies by analyzing how job seekers find their jobs and how they use digital tools to explore the open job market. There's many websites out there that help you do that. Um, there's one, I forget the URL for it, but they will actually go through a series of questions if you're interested in technology, and they will place you in an apprenticeship or coursework that will get you the job that they know that is open or will be open when you're done the coursework for that specific job. Now, it's that one that I'm thinking about is only technology, but there's many other ones out there that are like that that go through a series of questions to see what your experience, education, and interests are, to see if they have any jobs that would match that, so that you could be focused on something specific that you're trying to get. How do recruiters find their talent? Referrals, social networking, intern hires, direct applications is only 46%. An example of that, when I was a operations manager for Patterson Dental, I had a job opening for a customer service representative. Only required a high school diploma and some experience either in customer service industry or in the dental industry. I put it on Career Builders. In 2 days, I had 177 applications. I took it down because that's far more than I ever wanted to read for a customer service representative job that paid $12.50 an hour. I ended up hiring someone with a master's degree that taught dental hygiene at the school down the street from where our operation was, but she couldn't get on full time. They were only keeping her on part time, teaching a couple classes a semester, and she needed health insurance. And so our job was perfect for her because it didn't interfere with her teaching. And so she was perfect for us because she knew everything that we sold because she taught it. And she knew all the dentists and she knew all the people around that were our customers. And so when they called in for supplies, she knew exactly what they were talking about and could help them without having to be trained. So that's what you're up against when you go the direct application style with no networking. And we're running out of time on this one. So let's just jump down to this one here. Understand the value of cover messages and how to draft or submit a customized message to highlight your candidacy. This is what sets you apart. If you're just giving a plain, ordinary, generic um, cover message, it's very difficult to get into something that may have, like the position I was saying, that had 177 applicants. So that's your advertising right there. Can you do that, or is it the same as other people's? Okay, so let's go on to the last chapter, chapter 14. Hopefully it'll open. There we go. Okay. So interviewing and follow-up. Understand the purpose, sequence, and types of interviews, including screening, one-on-one, panel, group, sequential, and video interviews. Okay. Um, First question they'll probably ask you is, tell me something about yourself. Whatever you say right off the bat, first thing, that's what your focus is. So if you start talking about school, if you start talking about family, if you start talking about extracurriculars, that's what your focus is on as far as they're concerned. So the best thing to do is have this already prepared, know that they're going to ask you this question, and have off and list off a sequence of things that you were involved with, that you have results for if you were in a fraternity or sorority and you were in charge of recruiting and you have the exact model that you used and the results, then you can say that, tell me something about yourself. Well, I'm career results oriented, and an example of that would be, and then go through that whole process and then say what the results are. And that's what they want to see. They want to see what your results are. They don't want to see, well, I was a member of this and this and this and this, but you didn't do anything new. Okay, so that's what they're focused on at that point. Okay. I know what to do before an interview, including ensuring professional phone techniques, researching the target company, rehearsing success stories, cleaning up digital dirt, and fighting fear. Okay, this digital dirt, that'll come back to haunt you. Anything that you have out there that's controversial, it's probably going to come up on their search. So be careful what you put out on all the digital media, uh, because it could help you or it could hurt you depending on what it is. Explain what to do during an interview, including controlling nonverbal messages and answering typical interview questions. Okay, so you should be sitting there uh, with your feet flat on the floor. If you have a notebook or something, have it in your lap. Have your hands folded, be leaning a little bit forward, and focused on the questioning, and really intense on answering the question, um, and not, all, with your mind and eyes all over the place. They want to see that you can really focus. Okay? And describe what to do after an interview, including thanking the interviewer, contacting references, and writing follow-up messages. It's always nice to send a thank you email if you have their email address. One way of getting their email address is to ask for their business card if you don't already have it. Uh, Many people used to send thank you cards. I mean, that's fine. It's slow. If they're going to be taking a long time to make a decision, that might be good. If they're going to take a long time to make a decision, you might want to do both. Send an email thank you immediately after the interview, and then a card the same day, so they get it in a day or two, as a follow up, so they can remember who you are and the differences. It's always nice also to put something in the thank you that's specific to the interview, that'll trigger their memory to know exactly who you are. And learning outcome 5, prepare additional employment documents such as applications, rejection follow-up messages, acceptance messages, and resignation letters. Okay? And those go with that. Okay. And that's it. That is our semester. The last chapter is done. Let me know if you have any questions via email. After this week, the only thing you'll have left is the research paper. So I hope you've had a great summer, great semester. I've really enjoyed the class. I'm sure y'all will do great, and I look forward to reading your research papers. Y'all take care.